Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, the internet, and the like, and welcome back to Team Fortress 2. Today, going to be playing as the engineer using the shotgun, the pistol, and the Eureka Effect. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm showing off a little forward-based trick that I usually like to perform on Barnblitz, and of course using the Eureka Effect, that's going to be the topic of this video. The concept is pretty basic. By taunting with this item, you can teleport to spawn, and it's pretty much like respawning. You'll replenish health, ammo, and metal. But due to the unknown effects caused by this teleportation process, the engineer loses his complete brain capacity on how to haul buildings. Now, some other older TF2 players will probably remember that the hauling mechanic didn't exist until mid-2010, so the Eureka Effect is essentially a callback to this function, with a little bit of a twist. Unfortunately, I think this weapon exists to remind us as to why not being able to haul buildings absolutely sucks. This wrench is much more fit for defense due to its handiness during setup phases. When you're on the defensive side of a payload map or a control point map like Dust Bowl, you know that the game is giving you very little setup time to actually work with, and you kind of get into this little panic phase where you're not sure which building you're supposed to upgrade. Do I upgrade the sentry first? No, I need to put the dispenser up there. Oh god, the teleporter. I forgot about the teleporter. I think when it comes to building priorities, the teleporter is the most important asset of the engineer, especially under defensive measures. This will allow you to keep the pressure up on the enemy team by teleporting all your teammates in. The Eureka Effect, it's probably the best unlockable wrench for defense. If you're concerned about getting a level 3 sentry up where your nest is going to be, then knock yourself out, because by the time you get that set up, you can just teleport back to spawn, and you can upgrade your teleporter right there just before the gates even open. This can leave you at a much lesser risk of not having a full level 3 nest prepared at the end of the setup phase, and they can come especially handy in locations that are often devoid of large sources of metal, so that can mean you can set up a lot of different bases in places where people would not expect engineers to be. Of course, the Eureka Effect's attributes are all based on how you play Engi in general, and here you can see me using it on offense, which is a pretty odd idea indeed. I managed to roam all the way back to Red Team's final spawn on Barnblitz, which is of course the trick that I mentioned earlier, and I managed to trap them in for a short amount of time so that my team could push the cart without much hard difficulty in it. It probably would have been better if I had been using the Wrangler at the time, since in a couple of seconds Demo Man does manage to spawn in at the farther end, and he manages to bomb my sentry without any problem whatsoever. I probably could have handled this situation a bit better, but you know what? I'm proud that this worked out anyway. It's worth knowing that setting up this far across the map really depends on your team's pushing capabilities. If they can't push the cart past the first 2 points of this map, this nest will be rendered completely useless, since nobody on defense is going to wander back here. I've only had this plan fail maybe once or twice in the past, but sneaking past Red Team's first spawn actually, it's probably the easiest part of the plan. I don't know why, but whenever I just walk by Red Team's spawn, nobody seems to walk out, and I think that's because at the beginning of the game, Red Team not only has a bit more spawning time when each member dies, but at the same time they're also so focused on staying alive that a lot of them aren't dying to begin with. And since they haven't really taken care of watching a little engineer just sort of waltz by, so that way he can set up a sentry all the way at the other end, yeah, I don't know, a bit of a blunder on most people's part. I don't know why people don't expect this, because it's probably my favorite trick to pull off on Barnblitz. The last point of Barnblitz is probably the most difficult to capture on offense, so using this engineer trick actually kind of makes it a tad bit easier if you ask me. Heavy gets crit right in the face. You can see that the red team is kind of caught on to my tricks right now. They got a soldier with a direct hit. I think a spy comes in just about now to try and sap my stuff, but instead he only manages to backstab a heavy, and then sadly he gets away with it. If I hadn't been recording, I probably would have killed that guy, but you know, me and recording, we aren't the best of friends sometimes, and I get pressure pretty easily. Demo Man takes my stuff, my dispenser out again, and I just let him have it with the wrench. I love how the wrenches just randomly crit at the most convenient times. Can I just say that right now? Here I am setting up my sentry once more, just trying to make sure that my base is secured behind this shelf, but unfortunately this spells my demise in just a couple of seconds, because a spy, that same spy, will come in, and I probably should have spy checked him rather than laying down a really dumb dispenser right when he headshots me with the ambassador, which is a pretty funny moment. I'm not really sure why I decided to put down dispense right there, but it happened, and as such, there's nothing I can do to change it. He saps all my stuff, couldn't save it in time, I die, and that's pretty much the end of the gameplay right here. So, thank you guys very much for watching, have a great day or evening, and I guess I will see you in the next video.